Good morning. This is Neiman from the Save It for the podcast. Today I'm joined by our co-host. Not a pterodactyl, it's Aaron.
It's Aaron.
And we have a very special guest today. Please identify yourself, special guest.
Hey. It's me, Franklin.
Yay!
Yay, Franklin.
I was hoping you guys might have like some little intro music or something like
I mean,
podcast.
Well, I can come up with something right now. I don't know about the quality of it. I just don't want to get copyright strikes.
It's just, just make up your own thing, man.
Okay, hold on. You know what? We're doing this. Okay.
No, that's copyright.
It's Franklin.
Yep. Okay, now that we've formally started.
Yeah.
Welcome, Franklin.
Welcome, Franklin.
It's an honor to be here.
I'm glad
Well,
to hear that.
I'm honestly glad you feel that way.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a long-time listener, so I've listened to all the episodes.
Oh my
I actually have a couple bones to pick.
Please.
Before we get to anything else. So I'm a Timo main, and I believe that I was called out in episode 2, and I just want to know if you guys could elaborate on why it's bad to be a Timo main.
Your kneecaps are gonna get a secession in the next 24 hours. Okay, no. It's just a matter of frustration, really. When you're in the same team with Timo, sure, it's not that bad. But
right.
Other than that, in any other situation,
Yeah,
yeah.
I will say this, there are certain situations that warrant, choosing Timo. Okay. It's nothing.
But, last case scenario, just
Last case scenario, yeah.
If I
see it.
Yeah, exactly. Like if
You
I
see foreign script in someone else's username on the separate team, and you're like, okay, this calls for Timo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
As long as I'm not playing, I don't know, Camille or Jax against Timo, I think I'll be pretty okay. But
For
if
sure.
I'm playing
there you go.
basically 80% of the top lane meta, then it's basically screwed
Definitely.
against Timo. So
I'm not even level 30. I'm still level 25, but I've been playing off and on for 5 years, and he's the only one I'm playing.
Dude, you're good. You're good, honestly.
he's in all of the patch notes. He's basically has remained unchanged. So,
well, that's good. See, that's what because I lied. I also play some Warwick, and Warwick has changed significantly. So that's been like a huge
exactly.
deal.
Dude, I remember the first champion I played with was Warwick, just because I thought he was cool.
Yeah, dude. Back then it was great because he would always say it's only fun if they run, something like that. It was.
Dude, oh my god!
I miss that. He doesn't say that anymore. He's got all new stuff now.
Dude, I first started playing League of Legends in Turkey, so it was like Turkish,
for sure,
dubbed too. And it was the weirdest thing to actually hear some good Turkish voice acting. So yeah.
That's funny. Awesome.
There you go. So, anyway.
So,
Timo aside.
Yeah. So, before we get to the other bones that I know you need to pick, Franklin, why don't you introduce yourself and kind of talk a little bit about, who you are,
For sure.
Where you're from, what you're doing now, all that.
Yeah. So, who I am. I guess I'm a friend of Demons.
Yeah, he is.
I am. I'm currently back in Irvine because the whole virus thing or whatever. I've been here a little bit, but I go to school in Colorado. studying to be a paleontologist, so that's really fun.
Ooh.
And that's really exciting. I really like to swim. I like to sing. That's really fun. And that's about all you need to know about me.
Yay!
That was a cool way to end your introduction. Like, that's all you need to know about me.
Yes, very mysterious.
Yes.
No, but I used to act. I don't act anymore.
Oh, you and I, brother.
But
you and I both.
You still act, dude. You're in an improv troupe.
Yeah, but it's like improv, so it's not.
That's real acting. Hey, that's more acting than I'm doing. I just have to get off on writing crappy sketches for my acapella group. I was so mad too. Oh my goodness, I didn't tell you this, Neiman. So
please,
and I'll let you know, Saren. So every year, my acapella group has this huge birthday concert for the birthday of the group, and I was going to do another one of my musical sketches like I did last year, Neiman. And I put all this time into it. I spent like 12 hours on it. And then the pandemic hit the Wednesday before the weekend our concert was supposed to happen.
No.
Dude, yeah. No, it was
That's
awful.
horrible.
Yeah. I mean, it was, I got to say, I had a little bit of relief because it was going to be a lot more work. It was like, okay, great. Now I don't have to do that. But yeah, I was really disappointed.
Yeah, for me, God, I like how we're going to turn to the day the quarantine started.
Yeah. I know, right?
Which honestly, it's like a thing. Like I remember
the 0 hour.
Like literally that Wednesday, the Tuesday right before, the Wednesday where, all the, poo-poo went down. I taught improv at Woodbridge because I asked, like the higher ups at Improv City, hey, I did teaching at high school, I think it'd be really cool if I could try doing it again. And so I did again for like the first time in like a year. And I was like,
you taught improv to the Woodbridge High School kids?
I did.
That's awesome.
It was really strange at first because, as some people may know, I was on Comedy Sports and they do Improv City. So
for sure.
It definitely was an interesting experience. I mean, it's still improv, so most of it was the same.
Right.
But it was just like a weird kind of, feeling of, well, this is weird. I feel like David Neal because none of these kids know me. And I really shouldn't say kids because most of them were within, 1 or 2 years. Yeah.
That must have been so cool, though. I'm so jealous. That must have been really awesome.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. And I think for me, the most rewarding part of it was when someone actually like came up after, the practice and they were like, hey, could you, give me some like personal notes? And I was like, oh my God, I feel like
it's me.
Demon, you have become their senpai.
Oh, that's
oh yeah.
That's wonderful.
It was it was very rewarding. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I will, help you out and give you all these notes, right? And so, and it was funny, too, because we were also preparing them for Fullerton, Fullerton Festival. Wow. And then the next day, and then I remember after that practice.
And then Fullerton must have been canceled. You're right.
It was.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Right after the practice, they were talking to me and they were like, Neiman, you should come back, like next week or like, whenever you have time, right? I feel like you could be a great addition to the, the teaching staff at Improv City. And then...
dude,
pardon my French, shit went down.
That's right.
And that was also I think the second week of Pippin too, and so I had to scramble also that week because Thursday night I was supposed to be performing in an Improv City show,
right?
And Naron, my brother, texted me and he was like, "Oh, by the way, Pippin's canceled." On Saturday because I was going to see it on
they got canceled like halfway through, so they still got to do it, right?
They still got to do it. Like they were a lot.
Dude, if it had been canceled like the week of first show, that would have been.
Yeah,
especially I know how much time they put. I've done a couple of those, and I know how much money she sinks into that stuff.
Exactly.
They still probably need to recover though because of half a week of door sales. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
This is honestly the first time I'm hearing about any of this, because whenever someone talks to me about, the high school shows and whatnot, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm busy.
Yeah.
Like I kind of dodge the question and,
Mm.
the person in general in question.
It's easier to
So-
talk about when you have some distance from me.
Yeah, yes.
That's so
yes.
true. Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
gosh. Jeez.
Actually, yeah,
Yeah.
I really stand by that.
Yeah.
No, but I can just imagine she's probably like, all right, we're going to have 3 talent shows this fall to make up for the profits or anything. But, God,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I don't
Yeah,
want to be
for me, it actually didn't hit any like major stuff, because I had missed a bunch of auditions and I had just not auditioned for a bunch of other shows. So it was like, for me, it was in the sweet stuff. Sweet. I can't even speak because I just drank some very crappy tea. So yeah,
Classic.
I was like in the sweet spot between all the stuff that did happen and all the stuff that was going to happen. And the thing that just made it hard to transition from was the fact that, college emails suck and they often don't care at all. And I got the notification that we weren't supposed to go to school super late. Like I was literally about to leave my house, right?
What day did you guys stop going to class?
Oh gosh. I mean, it was later than everyone else because, it was a community college.
Right.
So I was hearing about all of these other people, like, oh my gosh, my college classes got canceled and, I have to work from home now and then this and that. Like, and they asked me, how are you dealing with all of this? And I'm like, our classes aren't canceled, like they literally gave us some hand sanitizers and said Godspeed. So it's like, so for me, it was, I think, Wednesday something.
Nice.
I can't even remember.
I think Neiman UC's were the Friday before I did, which was I stopped on March 13th, which was a Wednesday. I think UC stopped the Friday before that, so I think that's when you stopped having class, right, Neiman?
No, actually, I think it was. Well, at least for UCI, I don't know about the other UCs. I think for UCI, I think we got out a week after the announcement. I remember because, wait.
Well, because San Diego did it, and then a bunch of other schools did it because they saw San Diego,
right? Yeah,
including Irvine. So I think.
Oh yeah, maybe you're right.
Somewhere around there.
I can't remember. I'm trying to remember because I remember for like the one day that I did go over and teach. I think I can't remember if I had like class or not that day, but anyway, yeah. No, when they canceled classes, it was like, yeah, I mean, the online classes now, at least here for UCI, I mean, I think I'm...
Oh yeah, how's your spring quarter been? Have you been taking anything cool online?
I can rant about this for hours.
Please. I have stuff to say about this.
You guys go please.
First.
Okay,
yeah, please.
See, half of the stuff that we see on Zoom could have been emails, goddammit.
I believe
that could have been resolved with emails and a Canvas announcement, and that would be it, and we would be doing them in our time.
I totally agree.
But no.
I'm taking one class right now, and we meet once a day for like maybe an hour, and it's a Q&A session basically. So it's like, why?
And you have to attend?
Huh?
You have to attend?
No, but you get points for it, so yes. No, it's super cool though. I'm taking a summer course on piracy.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know, right?
And this is modern piracy, right? Not swashbuckling.
It's all of it. It's the Somalis, it's Pirates of the Caribbean, and ancient pirates from like
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, no,
yes,
it's really cool. It's been really awesome. I got to write a paper about a pirate, and
that's
class
awesome.
is dumb and
that
stupid.
is awesome.
So I got a really good score.
That is so awesome. You almost made me break my golden rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Have you guys been taking anything cool?
I'm taking critical thinking and financial accounting this summer.
Oh boy.
Hey.
And I'm waitlisted, so you know I'm gonna.
What about you, Neiman?
Frustrating. It's so frustrating.
Well, out of the three of us, I think I probably have the most boring classes, and then mine are all. The three of them are all academic. Two of them are psychology, and the last one is a humanities class, which I guess, at least to me, is the
Those
most
are at least
interesting.
somewhat interesting.
What does it entail?
Yeah.
So for the humanities class, I'm glad you brought that up. Because
That's a great question. I'm going to answer your great question,
That's
by
a
the
great
way.
question. Think about that. So we're taking a humanities, or I'm taking a humanities class, and it's this like introduction.
No,
it's called
we're taking a
You're taking a humanities class. So it's this all-encompassing humanities class that's supposed to be like an introduction class. It's supposed to include like every single thing about the humanities all jumbled into one year-long like introduction.
Oh, you were talking about this on the podcast. That's right. I remember.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I'll try not to make you guys repeat stuff you've already talked about.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, about the whole,
Yeah. I think you said it was like senior year rolled into a class or something like that, or high school senior year.
Oh yeah. That was,
my God. Dude, I forget how old your brother is. What year is he again?
He is currently a sophomore.
Because my brother's a senior and my brother's just checked out.
Yeah, that sounds
our only child.
Yeah. So, but he's going to go to college. He's going to a Cal State though, which they've already said they're going to be online for fall. So
really,
he's pretty happy about that. My dad isn't too thrilled, but but anyway. So yeah, but this pirate class is really cool.
Dude,
that's awesome.
No, it's pretty awesome. Because this guy has just spent his life researching pirates, and I'm just like, damn, that's a really cool job.
Dude,
that's the way to live.
And he just has so much to talk about. I mean, he barely does because he's kind of checked out too. He's like, no questions, great. Zoom meeting adjourned.
Oh yeah,
favorite teacher.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy too because it's this weird, like, so CU Colorado was like, okay, we don't have anybody who studies this, but there's this guy at Purdue who's a pirate guy. We'll let him teach the course, and he was going to come to CU during it was going to be an in-person class at Colorado.
Only in Colorado.
But now he can't do that. So, but also he wanted to get his friend who is a Dublin professor in on it. So I'm basically being taught by this guy from Purdue and this guy from Dublin, and they're kind of like battling over who like is really teaching the class.
About pirates. That's
because they are the two authorities on pirates pretty much in the world. So it's kind of
do they ever have like the pirate equivalent of waifu wars?
Yeah, no, totally. No. Part of the class is they're having us read both their books, and both their books like say the other one is wrong. So
oh my god,
that's so funny.
That is so amazing. I love it.
It's really fun. It's really great, and it's keeping me sane too. It's keeping me sane because I really related to your story, Aaron, from one of the podcast episodes. I think you said like it was like. Video games, sleep, different video games.
Yes.
I'm ready. Now I'm ready for an omelet.
And I realized I
really related to that because I kind of keep bouncing between all my stations. Then I go, oh, it's time for a meal. Let's switch it up a little.
I kind of realize now how problematic that was.
Right. No, I totally
It's true
agree.
though.
But it's hard to break out of.
Yeah.
It's nice though. I since I've been home, I've been having a lot more home cooked meals. I mean, I know you guys are.
dude.
I know you guys go to school, but I think you guys are still in Irvine, so you guys are still.
I'm in Costa Mesa.
Oh, okay, for sure.
Rent is cheaper, y'all.
But yeah, no, it's definitely nice because I am going back to Colorado in 2 weeks, just because I haven't seen my boyfriend in a while. And I kind of want to hang out back in Colorado, maybe get some mountain hiking in.
Yeah,
but,
that's good.
But it'll be back to corn dogs and chicken pot pies when I go back there.
Yay!
But I'm fine with that. I'm not picky.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
There you go.
I should learn to cook. This is probably a good time to get some, right?
Yeah.
I totally know what you mean. I've been trying to, not play Minecraft and Terraria all day, even though that's what I love to do.
But it's you're just
there.
Like,
right. I know. I feel like during this quarantine, like I for some reason I feel like personally compelled, just out of I guess fear of returning to quarantine, and whenever people ask the question, so what did you do during quarantine? I don't want to have to say Minecraft.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to
built a castle.
Yeah. Exactly. So I have been trying to relearn the piano essentially, because
for sure.
I did know the piano a super long time ago, but then actually, yeah, that's the thing. I did know for the longest time. Right before high school, I actually quit taking lessons because I was too scared of my teacher.
Dude, same.
Because she had really high standards of me, and so I just came up. But right before going to uni, I came up with this really BS response of, so I think high school is going to be really stressful for me. So I think I'm just going to take it easy from class, at least over the summer, and then maybe I'll return once it's over. And she was like, yeah, that's totally fine. And then
you never looked back.
I wonder how she is,
dude
now.
Yeah,
but it's crazy.
Speaking of cooking, one would think that I'd actually stretch my range a bit, because I've been cooking nothing but pizzas for the last month, aside from other stuff I find in my fridge and whatnot. But, pizzas are literally the only thing I cook myself. And when I'm, out of materials for making a proper pizza, you know what I make? Mini pizzas.
So there you go.
So I'm going to try to make those Red Lobster cheddar briskets at some point, those succulent ones. And I literally got the recipe ready to go. And the ingredients are waiting for me, but Terraria comes first.
Exactly.
So
you're driven by need. You absolutely have to put yourself away. Have you had pizza bagels? You've had those,
my
right?
Gosh,
Dude.
Yes, I have.
Those are I don't usually like microwavable pizza shaped foods, but that's my one exception.
Dude,
I'll eat pizza bagels all day.
Yeah.
I've been having more and more messages about people yelling at me for never having those. What are they called? Like pizza bits, pizza rolls, or something like that?
Something like there's a million.
Yeah, there's a million of those things. And this is literally my third year in America. Like, I haven't had time to try all of your, decadence.
Well, we're nothing if not resourceful with. There's a million and one ways you can twist a pizza into something that looks weird. Right. Yeah, I'm sure they've got store-shaped pizzas or something like that.
Exactly. Yes, I work in pizza mines to earn one hamburger token.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh God.
But quarantine, y'all.
Quarantine indeed.
So I believe we have a question.
We do. We did get a question. We got.
I was not told this. Okay, I'm unprepared.
Oh yeah.
Let's
surprise, Franklin.
We did. So if you don't know, we have a question form on our Instagram, and we will also hopefully link this in the description.
Also have an Instagram. Follow us on Instagram, y'all.
Exactly, yeah. So, if you're one of our loyal 10 followers, please We would love for you to follow.
I'm not following the
Dang,
Instagram.
bro.
I guess I should do that. Here, I'll plug you guys right now.
Traitor.
Follow Save It for the Podcast Instagram.
Yay! He's not sponsored, by the way.
approved.
Not sponsored. Not sponsored.
Are
Are we gonna sponsor ourselves?
Where's my Raid Shadow Legends stuff?
Oh my god.
Don't you mean NordVPN?
No, Squarespace.
Oh, you mean
Quarantine-
Audible?
Audible.
Yeah. The quarantine
Let's see
is
if we can
bringing
name all of
out.
them. What's the Wix?
Wix.
Jeez.
I guess
The
people
quarantine
use
is
Squarespace
bringing
now,
out the
yeah.
worst in me. So whenever I hear someone is sponsored by something on YouTube or something like that, like I feel like reaching through the screen and just like
Yeah. How dare you ask me for money?
how dare you
Yeah.
ask me to support this? Like
Don't
so,
forget
yeah.
to smash the
Ooh.
heart button. I think
Yeah.
SoundCloud has a heart button, right?
Heart,
Don't forget
like,
to give lots of hearts.
send us
Lots of-
mail if you want.
Yes,
You know
send
where
us
we
free
live.
stuff.
I laughed at that.
Buy
When you guys
our
said
merch.
You set up your email. The first
Oh god.
Oh gosh.
Oh, before we answer the question,
Ooh.
there's something I have to get off my chest, just because I know you two were or are theater people, right?
Is
So
this how I get
recently-
fired?
Huh?
Is
Oh,
this how
no.
I get fired from the podcast?
I guess we'll find out afterwards.
Is this a can of worms, Neiman? Is this?
It's not really a can of worms. It's just I think it's really funny. So I had a dream, right? Or-
Okay.
Actually, it was a nightmare, and let me say it was a nightmare first and foremost.
Yeah, I heard people having more vivid dreams because of the virus. I
Right.
heard that's a thing.
I know I
Exactly,
have.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't experienced this, but I hear that everybody feels this way. But anyway, sorry, continue, please.
I know you're good. So I had a nightmare. I had a nightmare that I was back in high school. I had a nightmare that I was participating again for some reason in a festival, a theater festival.
Oh,
to be
no.
specific,
Theater
right?
festival.
It
Now,
is
is
a
this
nightmare.
the small one at Irvine or closer to Fullerton? What do you
Oh
think?
no, this was like the Fullerton level.
Oh, this is like the Fullerton.
like
This is a
Fullerton level.
nightmare.
Yeah, it was definitely a nightmare, and here's why. This also goes to show how much, our drama teacher really imprinted on me. So the reason it was a nightmare was not because, I was naked or something, and it wasn't because, I was nervous of my performance, but I was nervous because I was going to be late to the festival, and I thought Miss B was going to like come out and just, whoop me, top to bottom. Because I was going to be late to the festival. And I remember really specifically in my dream that I was running around the house because I was like, oh my God, I forgot my shoes, or, I need my block, or, like, where's Nayron? And it was just a whole combination of things.
Right.
And I literally woke up in a sweat because I was so scared that, I was going to like either get kicked out of drama club or something. And then I woke up and I was like, oh my God, why did I have this nightmare? It's literally been a year since I've been in uni theater arts. So
PTSD, it's a lasting
I know.
psyche. It's up here. Isn't that what you're studying?
It is. It is what I'm studying. So,
whoa,
my goodness, the connections
man.
just run rampant.
Who did we drive with that last year? You and me drove up there the last year with somebody. I feel like it was me, you. Was it Davide and Lauren? It was so weird. I don't know. That whole weekend was just kind of from a different reality.
Now that I think about it, oh no, I think that was the year after. Because when you were a senior,
I'm talking about my last year, your junior year.
Right. I think I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I carpooled with someone.
Oh, yeah.
But I have no idea. But now that you mention it, because I was going to ask, because Franklin, Davide and Lauren weren't dating yet, right? When you were...
You're asking
Wait,
I don't know anything about it.
You don't know.
Public podcast.
I don't know anything about this. Hey, isn't that kind of stuff at the Can of Worms podcast?
No, I'm just mentioning. Okay, that was just a fact of the matter.
I'm flattered you think I know these things, but I really don't.
Well, I was just using that as I was using it as a reference,
as a reference in time.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason I remember is because I think I drove those two to and from Fullerton my senior year. So that's why I got that confused with your senior year, which is why I brought them up. Okay, not for any other reason. Okay, so don't fret, any theater arts listeners. Okay.
Theater arts listeners. Hey guys.
Yeah, because all theater people know each other. This is a fact.
I know.
That's right. They just have a mental psyche that
Alex Jones, eat your heart out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So yeah, but I'm glad you brought dreams up because I have a bone to pick with my own psyche.
Is that so?
Okay.
Didn't we have a question we were supposed to answer?
We did. Just a second. Just a second. Because Neiman brought this topic up.
Go for the dream. Do the dream.
Listen, my dreams are either super symbolic, okay, or they literally show me the future. And I'm not feeding you any BS on this. They literally show me the future. Okay, like I have so many deja vu moments. Okay, like a week before, I literally saw your face. Okay?
Who are you talking to?
Franklin.
Franklin, okay.
Franklin, okay? Like, I literally never met you in person. I only saw your face, like...
I'm pretty sure we've met in person before. I'm not sure in what capacity, but I'm sure it's happened.
Dude, no, I'm pretty sure, like, because the year you... Like, I think your last year was the year... Like, was my first year in America and
right?
I was not that into theater at that point. So we never met on, like, a, name-to-name basis.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
We probably only saw each other across the room or something like that at one point, and that's it. But, like, I don't know what the hell happened. But as soon as Neiman said, "Oh, can we have a guest star?" And I was like, "Yes," and his name is this. And, like, I saw your face in my dream, and now you're here, and it's freaking me out.
Aaron,
like,
you're not the Messiah, are you?
I hope not.
I think Aaron's a prophet. I think.
Please no. I don't want to be a prophet.
I'm just a college student. I'm
just a college student. I'm
can't
just
run
your
a religion.
average college student. But yeah, I literally have a lot of symbolic dreams and whatnot. Like,
that's wild.
Like, earlier this week, I literally had a dream where my wardrobe was filled from top to bottom with red freaking... I don't even know what they're called in English. Akrepes.
Ah, yes.
The stingy things, the arachnids with the tail and the claws and whatnot.
Lobsters?
That's what I was going to say. Lobsters? Red arachnids? There's only I guess... Are crabs arachnid? No, they're crustaceans.
No,
lobsters are crustaceans.
The one with the poison tails, you know?
Scorpions?
Yeah, scorpions. There you go.
Okay. Okay, there you
go. And I woke up in cold sweat. I was like, "What does this mean? What is going on?" So yeah, I don't want to be a prophet. Please, no.
Dude, it's all the plagues, man. You got the coronavirus, scorpions in your closet,
murder hornets,
seeing the future. You're checking all the boxes.
Gosh darn it, Aaron! You started the coronavirus, didn't you? This was all a ploy, wasn't it?
You know what? You're right. Yeah, I'll stop. All
right, the jig is up.
But yeah, my future career as a prophet, apparently, aside. And I really don't want that stuff to know. Please no. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like, that aside, I do believe we have a question. And by the way, 30-minute mark 3 minutes ago.
Woo!
So yeah.
All right.
What is our question, Neiman?
So this is a bit of that is.
What was that?
What?
Your gain just skyrocketed, and
you kind of.
Oh, did I?
Did the.
Yeah.
Oh, did I? That's
yeah.
Oh, got to remember, no ASMR, right?
No ASMR.
It's this close.
That's right. That's rule number 4, I think, right?
No, rule number 3.
Rule number 3. What's rule number 4?
Yeah. Rule number 4 is no Messiah. No Messiah.
No Messiah.
No prophetic dreams
Making it up
during the
as we go.
podcast.
Exactly. We got to abide by these rules, right?
Right,
Yeah,
There's
right,
our rules, right?
Right.
So,
So question.
so the question that we received is from our Google form. Please check it out if you would like to send us a question that we will answer.
Did you guys get sent a question?
We
Or a
did.
couple-
We did
Wow.
get sent. We got one question sent so far.
Great.
I think Franklinson, you listened to the last episode, right? Of the one where you talked
Was
about
it the one you guys recorded last weekend?
the one last Tuesday, and we uploaded Wednesday.
I don't know if I've listened to that. Was that what episode was that?
I believe Can of Worms episode 2.
Yeah.
I have not listened to Can of Worms episode 2.
Ooh, that's a juicy one.
Ooh.
You should listen to that one.
It's
Okay,
so juicy.
okay.
So juicy.
Yeah, the reason I bring it up is because that I just to if you have listened to that, listener, to the episode, those Can of Worms episodes get very juicy, and the range of thing. Aaron,
What is he doing?
I don't know. This is going to be an awkward moment in the podcast, but
No, it's fine. We'll just keep talking.
great.
What do you think he's seeing out the window out there?
I'm so I mean, yeah, from our angle, it just looks like a white heavenly light. So it could be, the afterlife. Who knows?
This is true. He's a prophet. We did discuss this.
We did
Hello?
indeed. Welcome back.
Sorry about that. My window was open and some schmuck was smoking outside.
Ooh,
Ew.
gross.
I have nothing against you if you're smoking, but I have something against you if you're smoking. Especially though. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, on to the question.
On to the question.
Yeah.
So, the question that we received for today, let me bring it up real quick. It has to do with Elon Musk, of all people.
Wow.
I know, yeah, who knew, right? But anyway, while I'm bringing it up, I just wanted to mention again, if you have listened to our previous Can of Worms episodes, the range of questions is very, huge. We've talked about the education system, politics. We've talked about giving advice. We talked about morality and philosophy and all that. So please don't feel afraid to send us any and all questions, even if it's
Literally
just
anything.
what should I have
Literally
for
anything.
breakfast tomorrow? We'll answer it.
I actually received a question that said, why can't I get a boyfriend? And I was like, I can't answer that in this podcast. I'm sorry.
Oh, I can answer
So
that.
yeah. Nope. Franklin, stay.
No.
So,
Yeah, we get it, Franklin. You're more successful at relationships than us.
Oh, please. Boys are easy to please. You just need to-
So true. So
Yes.
true. Great. So the question that we got was this. How much more, if so, do you think Elon Musk could accomplish if he was articulate?
Okay, so when I read this question, first thing that came to mind was, oh, this is a Can of Worms question. And I was like, and then I checked it out again and again and again. I was like, no, this can be like a general topic, this can be discussed in our actual, actual episodes.
Our wholesome episodes.
Yeah, our wholesome episodes. So yeah, why not? Let's do it. So yeah.
Thoughts, comments,
Thoughts,
qualms?
comments, qualms. So here's the thing. I know people who have been, essentially worshiping Elon Musk, as the new head of the technocratic society or whatever, because everyone was like, oh, he's a billionaire, but he's like a cool billionaire who sends rockets to space and, has flamethrowers and, has a car in space orbiting the Earth or what,
Seth Rogen and all that.
Yeah, there you go. And stuff like views change all the time, especially in quarantine with all the stuff that's happening. And that can be a Can of Worms episode, but
Right.
But that aside, I mean, he's like billionaires often are seen as another species, from our perspective at least, because I mean, think about it. they aren't really subject to, you know, all the stuff we have to go through, you know, bills, taxes, all like, you know, worrying about where they're going to receive treatment if they get sick, you know, all this kind of stuff is just, you know, something else to them because all their problems are just solved by money. So they just seem like a different species. And Elon Musk, on the other hand, he's
a chill guy.
Yeah, like he's the only person that comes to mind when I think of a billionaire who is actually, like, you know, humanized in the eyes of society. And like, when you think about it, he's literally going through like a midlife crisis doing all of this stuff. Like, there's literally a lot of tweets saying that, Elon, are you okay? Elon, do you need to talk? Elon, this, and that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, sure, it would help if he could articulate his ideas a bit more, but I mean, the fact that he does all this stuff and, like, does it in a relatable manner, relatable being, you know, hard quotation marks.
Yeah.
You know, in this case, it's just, I don't know, it's comforting to know that there's someone up there who still has something of a humanized human capacity.
Right.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I get what you're saying.
So
yeah.
So if I'm getting you correctly, you think because he is a billionaire, and because he is humanized, so to speak, that he could accomplish much more if he was articulate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I would say.
Oh no! It happened again.
What the?
Hold on.
Oh, sorry. You know what I think it is? Sorry, I have to diverge the conversation for a split second. But I think I know what this is.
Okay.
So 2 little quirks about me. First quirk, obviously, is my voice. Now, I think what's happening is, what tends to happen is, and actually, now that I think about it, my sleeping parents and siblings are probably going to hate me after this, because they always talk about how loud I speak in these conversations, and they're always commenting after every Zoom meeting I have, whether it be in class or just, you know, talking to friends. They always comment afterwards, and they're like, Neiman, you talk so loud. I could literally hear your entire conversation. And it's because I've been so conditioned, you know, as an actor to use my voice, and, you know, even in improv, right?
Cheat out.
Right.
Exactly. This piece strikes again. Right. And so now I feel, you know, conditioned to, you know, want to talk loudly all the time. So that's quirk number 1. Second quirk, almost completely unrelated, but I thought I'd just mention it anyway. Another quirk is that whenever I'm walking with someone, right? I don't know if either of you have experienced this, but I tend to get the complaint a lot that whenever I walk next to someone, I start leaning in their direction.
Yep.
Which is kind of, it's a weird thing I do, but people tend to...
It's not just you. Believe you me, it's not just you. This is a complaint I've been having with many of my American friends ever since I've, you know, actually came here. Whenever I'm walking side by side with someone and we're having a conversation, I'm often led to the side of the road and eventually off the sidewalk and whatnot. And I'm like, can you please chill? You're
Sounds
walking
right.
towards yeah. But yeah, dude, it's okay. It's all right. You're good.
So that's what it is. It's my actor voice.
You're too cute to be held accountable to your actions.
Thank you, Messiah. So, back to the question.
Yes.
How many times has that been now that we've diverted the question?
I don't know, man.
We should get paid for this. So the question, in terms of the question, yes, I do agree with your statement on if he was more articulate, that he could get more done. Could get more done. Yeah, I mean, I can't speak as much as you can, just because I don't follow Elon Musk as much as I do, you know, other people.
Yeah.
But I do agree with that notion of, you know, billionaires needing to, you know, step up to the plate, right?
Right.
Just because they have all the money in the world, so, you know, it just, And I guess that's one of the reasons why, again, a little diversion really quickly. One of the reasons I'm studying psychology, right, is just because I've been so interested in, decision making, right, and how people make decisions. And I think that's one of the, key factors of, like, one of the questions I always have is, why don't billionaires donate more money to charities and do more stuff, right? And they already, a lot of them do, right? I mean, you can look at Bill Gates. But my question is always, why aren't they doing more? And I personally believe that it's a psychological factor. And obviously, with any social science, it's obviously a very interdisciplinary work, which is also what I really like about the humanities and social sciences, is that it's a very, interdisciplinary work. And Franklin, I'm sure you can attest in some of your, paleontology studies.
Attest to what?
The interdisciplinary work. Do you frequent that?
For sure. I'm curious. Has your acting made it easier to kind of, get into the psychology stuff, kind of understand it a little bit? Because like I feel like to understand a character, you kind of have to get into their psyche, right?
Yep.
Right. Yeah, that's a good question. I haven't really.
Or has the psychology class benefited your acting in some way? Because you might consider something about the character psyche that you might not have. I mean, I know you do improv and it's kind of on the spot, but
yeah, well,
I
was just flipping my imaginary
flipping your hair.
Yeah. Yep. I think
Aaron, has he told you the story of the first day me and him met? He was
no, he has not.
Well, it's the first comedy sports audition.
Oh,
Oop.
Yeah. He started. He was like, "Hi, I'm Neiman, and I have the most hair in all the room." And it was
I did.
Nobody's gonna be able to see this, but just for the sake of clarification, Neiman just cringed. I felt that was a worthy point to address to our audience.
See, but if you don't, like, how can you say that you've grown, or how can you say that you've
exactly?
There you go.
Yeah. I mean,
that's my unpopular. Cringe is a good thing. That's my unpopular.
Yes. Cringe is a proof that you're a human. If you don't cringe, you're a filthy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're
not constantly cringing at all the stupid stuff you've done.
You
I remember this is in Can of Worms.
That's right. Okay, I did pardon my French earlier, so I just want to say that I did break the rule at one point, but I did say pardon my French, so it's okay.
I feel like we all did at some point in this episode.
Yeah.
Franklin, what have you done to us?
But I caught myself. I know. This isn't even my show, so
good.
I get more points for that.
Good, you do. You do get lots of brownie points.
Yes.
Because I saw it in your face. You were to say all of the stupid, and then you paused. And I was like, there you go. So that's awesome. Yeah. But yeah, just I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, I would agree with the cringing thing. I think if I could have a conversation with little 14-year-old Neiman, it'd be a strange one. I think he'd be just commenting on.
Oh, he was super strange, but not as strange as he is now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm definitely more strange now. Except I guess there's less penis jokes. But oh, sorry. Was that
the pee-pee word?
It's a. Do you want me to say phallic object? It's a part of the body, Aaron.
Sure,
okay,
I'll accept it. I'll pardon you.
You'll accept the penis. Great.
I'll allow it.
I mean, me. But all right.
But
I don't know how we got to this. I don't know.
I was.
Whoa.
No. There was a reason I remembered that. We were talking about something else. What were we talking about?
Okay, we were talking
Neiman was doing his hair.
Oh, the hair flip.
Yes.
Right? Oh, because you asked me about psychology, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's definitely. I think it goes both ways.
Right.
Obviously, right now I know more improv than I do psychology.
Right.
But it definitely has gone both ways. For example, for psychology to improv, I was learning about in psychology schemas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And schemas, for anyone who doesn't know, are basically mental networks in your mind that are basically networks of things that, you know, connect together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, for example, if you have the word door, for example, the word door has a schema, which is the network of all things associated with door. So that's wood, knob, you know, window, all those things. And the schema is basically what explains, this concept of the schema basically explains association games in improv, which I thought was a really interesting note, because I remember playing, Zip Zap Zop Association, right, in all of those practices, and that was probably one of the first instances where I made that connection.
We did not play that towards the end. That was definitely more of a earlier game, because by the end we were just doing Czechoslovakia.
Oh my god! Oh, which reminds me, just really quickly, I tried doing Czechoslovakia with
the Woodbridge kids. Did they like it?
It was so funny because I was like, okay, does everyone here know Czechoslovakia? And everyone was like, yeah, we know it. And then I started doing it, right? Mm-hmm. And then suddenly they started like doing weird stuff with like their, you know, like their hip.
Oh, they learned it differently. Oh, yeah. That's awful.
And I was just, because I was so certain, right? Because I was like, okay, everyone knows this. And I was looking at everyone, right? And then suddenly we were all giving each other looks of, what the heck is going on? Why are our feet going this way? And it was so, but
oh my god.
I mean, there is the saying that there are only 8 theater games in the entire world. So
this is true. This is true.
Yeah.
Except apparently every time you change schools, it's a different game.
Right.
It's the same game, but different DLC. So yeah.
Well, I have to think too that, so I mean, improv is all about motive, right? Like, why are you doing this thing? And I have to think that in psychology you learn a ton about motive and stuff like that, right?
No, absolutely. I think, you know, especially with
50-minute mark.
Motive, right? Yeah, 50 minutes. Yeah. Especially with, you know, in terms of like actual motivation, I can't say I've gotten far into the nitty gritties yet of like the concept of motivation, just because right now we're on the brain. So I can tell you the amygdala is a part of the brain that is focused on emotional association. So I guess it's just a nerdy fact. In an improv scene, when you do have an emotional attachment to either a memory you have, or maybe an object in the scene, you are using your amygdala to all the information about that object. So for example, if we have like a banana or a scepter, let's just say a scepter. Yes. A scepter. We have a scepter, right? If we have a scepter, then if I feel very angry towards this scepter or towards my arch nemesis, then I am using my amygdala to negatively associate both the scepter with my arch nemesis. Yes.
Amygdala.
Yes. Amygdala. Yes. Sorry,
I'm
Aaron.
going to control your amygdala with my new scepter from my own amygdala.
What is going on?
Yeah, we
I left for a second to fix my internet.
We had this bit, me and Neiman. When did we start this? I don't remember.
It was like, I'm pretty sure it was your junior year or something like that.
I feel like it was earlier than that. I thought it was like even like the first year we were on Comedy Sports.
Maybe, yeah.
Where we're just constantly these old wizards that steal the scepter back from one another. We're just continually fighting over a single scepter, and there's a new scepter every couple times, or there's 10 new scepters, or it's a bit, you know.
Yeah,
you know. That's what I miss. Nobody does bits with you if you're not in drama or anything.
Oh my
god.
Like,
you can't show up somewhere and be like, oh, I wasn't expecting to see you here.
Yeah, people are gonna look at
everybody
you
looks at you like you're crazy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Why are you doing that voice? What's going on?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I literally had a moment where I walked into the green room of like my current, theater troupe, right? And like I literally walked in, made eye contact with one of my friends there, and I started acting like one of those JoJo characters, like one of those really over the top anime characters, and he immediately picked it up and like,
right? Yeah. Like
it's so fun.
Do that to a theater kid. They're on board. They're like, yes, I want to participate in this with you, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Well,
other people don't do that.
To be fair, I did bits before I joined theater, but back then I wasn't a theater kid. I was just weird.
Oh yeah, no, I
think all three of us can relate to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the earliest. Oh yes, the high five over Zoom. One of the earliest bits.
They're not going to know what I just did.
I just randomly burst into laugh.
No, because
that's funny.
The Save It For The Podcast logo shall hide your sins.
I was a fan of it. Okay, I don't. Yeah, no nose in improv, right?
Yes, and
right.
Teach the Woodbridge kids yes and.
Yeah, exactly.
No, not it's yes and.
Yeah, no yes buts. Yeah, no buts here.
Yes, but the scene is mine now, and it's not about you.
No and.
There you go.
But I remember one of the earliest bits actually got me into trouble. We had this bit back in 5th grade with this friend who was a girl, right? I think this is important to the story. I'm not sure yet, but I guess we'll find out.
Just keep,
So
keep it going.
We had this ongoing bit. Although she wasn't a theater kid, and neither was I. Like I didn't know what theater was yet at that time, but it was basically a bit, right, where we would genuinely slap each other. So I guess it wasn't really a bit; it was more of just a friendly 5th grader slap to the face. But it eventually got to the point where one of the teachers caught us. And I remember that being such a distinct moment in my life because I'm a goody two shoes, right? I'm a rule follower, and I'm sure you two can attest to that, right? Like I'm very much a rule follower, right? And so this was like one of the first times where I like actually got in trouble, and I had to like write a letter and everything, and I was just, oh my god, I was like crying because I was like, oh my god, what are my parents going to say? And obviously looking back, it was just a slap, but it was 5th grade, so
slap on the wrist, Oh gosh, I remember I was the perfect mixture between a rule follower and like just unhinged child. And it was
really
insane.
are the Messiah.
Shut up, oh my god. But yeah, back in 4th and 5th grade, this was back in Turkey, we had a bit. And like I talked about this before, but the way classes work in Turkey, you were essentially assigned to a group of people, and this group of people were the people you walked to class with, took the same classes with, and it kind of got separated more and more as you moved on with high school. But it was only like 2 classes in like among like 16 where you were separated. So it was, and back in 4th and 5th grade, this was essentially like, you were assigned to a single room, like a classroom, with a single group of people, and the teachers would come to you because it was 4th and 5th grade,
Right.
And oh gosh, it was such a good time back then because we had a bit, and every single group was involved. Okay, like here's how this works, right? If someone from another class came to your class, you essentially did the Turkish, elementary schooler equivalent of a T-pose, right?
Oh my god.
Which was like make yourself look like a square as much as possible, and essentially like go up to them and go like, foreign material, and like, essentially like push them out of the class, and it was the most fun thing possible.
Oh my god. That explains so much about. Is that why you'd always do the square thing every time we greet each other?
Maybe,
Now that I think about it, because every time you're always like this, like on screen, and just
Yeah, there you go. Look at you being a psychology student.
God.
You know, like going back to my deep roots for the fifth grade.
Right.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that was such a fun time.
Yeah, no.
I was still an antisocial, piece of crap, but you know what? It was still fun.
I get that.
Even for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just miss being able to like lock eyes with the person from like across the room or something.
Oh, yeah.
Slowly start walking towards each other.
I still do that. Thank you very much.
That's so
How
funny.
was your sheep today?
Hello, brother. Like, yeah.
Or like, those are some nice pants.
Nice times. Nice times.
Hey.
Hey there.
Oh God. Yeah. So
yeah.
Franklin.
Yeah.
No, wait. Quick question. Quick thing. 16-minute mark. Please continue.
So much build.
Wait, is that 16 minutes from the beginning or from the? We've been
16 minutes. Yeah, 16 minutes from the beginning. This is going to be edited though, so it's going to be like, people listening to this are going to look at the time, and it's going to be like, 58 minutes and 45 seconds, and they're going to write 1,000 angry comments like, oh, it's inaccurate.
In addition to the thousands of hate emails we already get. So,
We do? We're famous.
Oh, yeah, of course. So the reason I'm actually glad you brought that up, because I do realize we are stretching our time. So, Franklin, I do want to ask you if you do have any other bones to pick. If you remember that topic from all long ago.
Oh, man. I thought the Timo one was the main one.
I'm glad that was the main one for you.
That was
of all the things.
That was the main one.
Pun intended.
It was just really fun listening to this, because I mean most of it was stuff I'd already heard.
Mm-hmm.
Like
about
been so into ASMR.
Yeah.
I don't get it at all. But if it helps you sleep,
It does.
Honestly, ASMR just makes me uncomfortable.
I mean, how do you like somebody whispering in your ear?
Not in like a get away from me, you liberal kind of way, but more like more like kind of it's not my thing. I get why people don't like it, but
See, actually, I don't know if I should give I was about to write a whole stand-up on my defense of ASMR, right?
Do it.
Did you write one? I thought you wrote one.
Well, I did write one, but I ended up not performing. I ended up modifying it. So I didn't give out like a full, but it was
so you censored yourself.
It was
the Turkish government would be proud.
Have you had a chance to perform your stand-ups since you read them to me last, or no?
I think so. I can't remember. What was the last one you heard, Franklin?
Well, you had the two, and
right.
I think you did them for me during winter break of this year.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. So then I think I only have done one more since then, and it was basically just a modified version of the first one.
Okay.
Because I think that, excuse me. At that
You're
time,
not excused.
Dang, I'm gonna stay here forever.
I still have my journeyman one. I really like that idea that I made. But
the journeyman.
I don't have any avenues to really. Plus, it's unpolished and everything. But
right. Yeah.
The whole bit, Aaron. Do you know the word journeyman?
I have looked it up so many times before because I've seen it in a bunch of video games.
Like a game or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
basically
apprentice?
it means reliable but not outstanding.
Gotcha.
That's great. There's so many uses for this word. So
I am a journeyman.
I did a whole bit on that, which is cool. It
was a great bit. Yeah. I even helped refine it a little bit, during our car ride.
Because like, how relatable is that, right? You're in physics, you're getting a B. You're not a bad physics student. You're a journeyman physics student.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
I'm gonna use that against my parents.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you
Do
go.
it.
You know.
Yeah.
I actually related that to because I told that to my dad, and he thought it was pretty funny. My dad's part of it too.
Right. Yeah.
And how I didn't really relate to him in high school, but honestly, I've met a lot of people with way worse dads than mine, so I've really come to appreciate him a lot.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I can probably say the same.
Yeah,
UCI, right? You know.
Yeah.
And
it's crazy how bubbled we are. Yeah.
You know, it honestly is.
Yeah.
Honestly is.
We're slowly becoming those college students, you know, like we're gonna go up to a high schooler and ask, you know, how old are you? Oh, 17. Oh, you're such a baby. Get out of my way. You know, like, yeah.
You know, yeah. I think the whole. Okay, so this isn't to sound like a creepy old guy, right? But
love it when you begin sentences that way.
Yeah, it's like the modified version of not to be racist or anything. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I don't mean to offend you, but
trigger warning.
Yeah, exactly, right? But one of the whole thing with like 18 being the age of being an adult, I always found very weird, and here's why, right? Because technically your brain doesn't stop developing until 25, right? Now, I'm not making the argument that, things should be moved up to 25, right? But I'm just saying I find it like weird or strange rather that, for example, like an 18-year-old can pay taxes, but literally 1 year before you don't have to at all, which I think is such a weird concept just because like age is such a, it's a fluid kind of like thing. And like, again, it's like with the whole thing with like the, you take your age and you add 7 and divide by 2 or something to get like your dating age or something. Like that. It's like a weird, because like, it for some reason, at least for me personally, I find it strange that, some people are like, oh my gosh, an 18-year-old and like a 17-year-old that are like, 2 months apart, that's illegal. It's like, it's so, I mean, they're 2 months apart, right? It's not like, at the end of the day, it's 2 months. You don't have to, but again, that's not saying, 6-year-olds should be with 30-year-olds.
Yeah,
right.
Like,
well, I think you've become super sympathetic too, because I know you're hanging out with all those old guys at Improv City.
Right.
Because you've got a bunch of older friends. How's that been? What's that experience been like?
Oh my gosh,
because they must be super different than you in terms of like how they like not improv. Like
right. It's oh my gosh, I'm so glad you asked that, because I can go on for hours, but I know we're already kind of stretching our time, so I'll try to keep it short. But oh man, it honestly has been one of the most, I guess, different experiences that I've had, just because again, since high school and Irvine is such a bubble, right? I think well, first thing I learned just out of the experience of being around older people all the time is that I've come to realize and appreciate, where I am right now. And what I mean by that is, there's so many different types of people in improv. And this is going to sound really like close-minded, but I did at one point. I had this really bad habit of, stereotyping everyone, right? Not necessarily like in the bad way.
I feel like everybody has that internally, though. I feel like that's not something you have to really apologize for, but rather like kind of just like think about.
Acknowledge.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Acknowledge, improve yourself.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. But I had like for the really longest time, especially like in high school too, right? I would think, oh, theater kids are loud, obnoxious, sometimes do great bits.
Oh, well, that one's true.
Yeah, that one's absolutely true.
True.
But I would think, like,
no, I'd include myself in that.
Exactly, right? Yeah. I would agree with that statement. And I would think ASB kids are, popular, they're, hot, all those things, at least some of them. No shade, but I would think those things.
I'm out of tea, but I can still spill some. All right.
I know I had coffee.
The boldest
too.
of opinions here on Save It for the Podcast.
Save It for the podcast, where we break down your favorite celebrity crushes.
Exactly. Yeah, boldest and boldest. But I would have these really, bad habits of doing that. And I think it started to break more and more, I think, in combination with college and with Improv City, because, here's the thing, right? The youngest of us, well, I'm the youngest in the group, right? I'm 19 years old.
Right.
This guy
there's another 19-year-old.
There is another 19-year-old.
Is he younger than you? Does he act younger than you? I guess that's the real telling, because who cares if you're the same age, right?
Right. He's a couple months older, I think 10-ish months older. So he'll turn 20 before I do. Yeah, he's great. He's also a theater kid, so we're always doing bits and all that. And
there you go.
He was Fester in his own production of Addams Family.
Ooh.
There you go.
So he definitely has a Fester kind of personality, which is really funny. But anyway, so we're basically the two youngest people, right? Oldest guy in the group, I think 72 or
That's
something
insane.
crazy.
That's
like
crazy.
that.
I thought it would be 50s or something. You got a 70-year-old? That's insane.
Yeah, the range is absolutely crazy. And we've got a Disneyland photographer, we've got a financial broker, we've got business owners, we have real estate agents. Really the whole range of people that you could possibly meet.
So wait, so is Devin the only one who does it full time? Is everybody else got some other stuff going on?
Yeah, that's basically it.
That's
crazy.
Devin.
Wow.
I totally didn't know that. I thought it was a bunch of theater people. I guess there's not too much money in improv, though, is there?
Right. It's I know Devin. He's a great guy, right?
Devin is a great guy.
He's so
Devin
funny.
is awesome.
Any listeners have ever met this dude?
Mm-hmm. Honestly,
he's a really cool dude.
He's really cool, and it's so, and he was you remember him as a sub, right, Franklin?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Exactly, right. And he was so
good.
I feel
Aaron, if you had him as a sub.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh yeah, you too, Aaron, right?
Yeah. I shouldn't even have to ask that. Of course,
you don't. Yeah.
You see him at least twice a year, at least.
Right. Exactly.
And it's the highlight of the year. Not gonna lie. On a school like uni.
Yeah, but I think it's so, I guess, because I feel like in high school, his high school substitute personality is nothing like his actual personality.
Oh, I totally believe it. That's not what he wants to be doing.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he did improv. He is so different. In when doing improv, because he's super passionate about it.
Yeah.
And his wife Gina also helps him run the troupe and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But even she's not full time, because she's also working I think as a help desk person at AT&T, just to help pay bills and all that. But Devin's Devin and Gina both work on it together, but Devin's the only one who's full time improv, which I just find so that's really cool, right? And then the fact that they've been going on for 10 years. We just had our 10-year anniversary too.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, it's the whole range of people is just so, I mean, yeah, we've got UCI alumni. We do have a handful of actors in the group. Mm-hmm. We've got substitute teachers. And the
It'd be
thing
so
is,
funny if you were in Improv City and Miss Skulski showed up.
I know
she's still there, right?
She probably is.
It's only been 2 years.
I hope.
Yeah, she was there. She was there last year.
Peggy dies of the coronavirus. It's over. We just close the school down.
That's it.
We're finished.
She was the bread and butter of the school,
Yeah.
She was Tommy Trojan, guys. She was the one doing all those Tommy Trojans. I know that's honestly one of my biggest fears, of just running into a it's a bit of a mixed
somebody
bag.
From your former life, somebody to bring you back.
I mean,
to
it depends on which, who you run into,
right.
Someone you like or something, because I still have contacts from that school and whatnot. So it's if I ran into, like, for example, my junior year English teacher, and I don't want to say her name because, you know, the 1,000 angry emails, but like, if
What
I
period?
ran into her, I'd
wait,
probably.
what period of the day?
Ooh, I think it was sixth period.
Oh, I know who that is.
Yeah, you know who that is. Yeah, and you know, like, I'm just gonna say this one word. She studied law, and that's all I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna move on with the.
It's not a can of worms episode.
This is not a can of worms episode. No, so it's like if I ran into her, I'd probably like fold 4 times over myself and just bury myself like like a rodent or something like that, just from avoiding that social con. Like, I just don't want to run into her.
Yeah. I
like
think
1 year is enough. Thank you.
Exactly, right? I know, yeah. I know who you're talking about, and everyone who's in that class was just so over it.
She's what pisses me off, okay? Like, one of my best friends from the high school loves her. Okay, like, she actually loves her because, like, she's a teacher's pet, but even teachers' pets that I knew in that school hated her, and I don't understand how she loves her. And it's like, so yeah.
I think one of my go off, Prince, go off. I think one of my going back to the or addressing what you said about, you know, like people coming in, I think one of my favorite, you know, things about I guess performing or one of the greatest things was, you know, whenever I would perform in like a musical in high school, right? And then, you know, the next day I would go into math class, and then, you know, my old teacher would be like, "Oh, you did so great, and you're wearing a wig and everything," and, you know, like, knew nothing about theater and was just like, "You did great, and, you know, that was a great, you know, prop you used." And just trying to come up with like a bunch of like BS things to say, which I thought was
but I remember you said I think you said in one of the episodes that Mr. Esposito, what's his name? The Spanish teacher.
Yeah, Esposito. Yeah.
Yeah, Esposito was always really, really happy with your performance, because I think
he was
in theater or something like that.
He was awesome.
Yeah, he also minored in theater, and every time we would have the dialogos or the scenes in you know, in Spanish, you know, he would always be so impressed. He'd be like, "Hey, bueno, señor Neiman."
Magnifique.
Exactly, right? Because I would be the only one acting, right? Because I mean, you guys have seen those, you know.
Yeah, dude, I took Spanish for 2 years.
Exactly.
No, I got lucky because my middle school, you know, I grew up in Pittsburgh, so my middle school taught me Spanish, so I only had to be in Spanish for like a year or two.
Yeah.
And so, but it was really fun. It was really fun. That's what I always hated about it. Like, you know, in high school, you get to do so much stupid presentation crap.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
You don't get to do that in college because, like, your class, you know, the classes are designed for it. Unless it's like a small class where you're writing papers or something.
Yeah.
Or like public speaking or something.
But like that used to be my favorite thing, was to just do the research project and then get up in front of the class, just make a bunch of stupid jokes. You know?
Exactly.
Because and it was super weird because, like, you know, of course nobody else likes doing that, but like a lot of the people from theater didn't seem to like doing that either. And I thought, you know, this is like your thing. Why wouldn't you want to do, you know?
Yeah.
Like I did a presentation in apes for
I
think it was like cave spiders or something. And it was super fun because I was like, I put up like a picture of like a Minecraft cave spider. And I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. And this isn't a real cave spider. and I put up a real cave spider, which is like these 5 feet long giant.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I know.
That's
right?
hilarious. Yeah,
but like I missed that. I don't get to do that anymore. I don't get to do that.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
I think the reason theater kids hated doing presentations was because they were too busy going over their scripts to actually
do research.
Yeah, very true.
But I never had to take Spanish.
Okay, we get it. You know Turkish, and you've got a Turkish accent and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm cool with my accent. But we're approaching the 1 hour 20-minute mark.
Oh wait, we are
Okay,
stretching
we
it.
should probably wrap it up.
So
Well, eventually, we're gonna reach the 2-hour mark, and I'm gonna have
fun time.
fun time editing the video.
Hopefully, I spoke loud enough for the thing.
No, you did. You did.
Mhm.
I could actually tell. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. But
Yeah.
before we wrap up, Franklin, do you have any closing remarks, comments, queries, questions you have for us? Comments, concerns?
Hey, you can't
Bones
steal
to
that.
pick.
I know. I know where that's coming from. No, I had a really great time. This was really fun.
Nice.
To be on the show with you guys.
That's awesome.
Thank
Thank you for being.
Thank
on
you.
the show.
Yeah.
Well, I figured you guys could use some additional things to talk about or someone to talk to. So
Yeah.
I encourage other people to come on the show, and I don't know. Would you guys have me back?
Yeah,
Dude, yeah, sure.
absolutely.
I got nothing to do. So.
Yeah, I'm sure most of us don't have a lot to do.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
So
I'd definitely be down to come back for another episode. This is really awesome.
That's
There you
awesome.
go.
Yeah, maybe you can come for a can of worms episode, and we can.
Oh yes. Oh
You
yes.
know,
We can really go off.
We can go off on all of the people we hated in high school, which is something I've been wanting to do for a really long time. But again,
1
this
hour
is the
20-minute mark.
the wholesome episode. So we'll wrap up here. Again, huge shout out and thanks to Franklin Duffy, our star of the show. Yay!
Oh, thanks.
Off their soundtrack. Yay! Don't forget to subscribe, like, and
Smash the heart button.
smash the heart button to Franklin's.
Smash the like button. Don't
thing.
forget to like, comment, and subscribe and share and donate
Exactly.
your soul and kneecaps to our cause.
Probably not the skull and kneecaps part, but all the other stuff. Go ahead.
We desire your kneecaps. All right, so
This has been the Save It for the podcast. I'm Neiman.
and I'm Pterodactyl.
This is
Hey.
Pterodactyl.
Hey.
And our special guest today
Hey.
was.
Hey.
Franklin. Hey. Wait, you gotta have the outro music.
No. Neiman, no, that's copyright.
It's all copyrighted. But thanks for tuning in. Remember to send us questions, comments, queries, qualms, and we'll see you at our next episode.
Outro music.